Hello. I was thinking last night about the narratives that have been going on, certainly for the past 5.5 weeks, and actually for a few months before that. And it occurred to me that in this run up to this prime ministerial election, all the narrative has centered around the British consumer, the public, individuals, and the cost of living crisis, and oil and energy, and how it affects British households. But almost nothing has been said about businesses. All the waffle and vague promises that have been made have had to do with what the new Tory party leader will do, although they haven't actually told us. They've told us they will do something. As Nadeem Zahawi said recently, the government knows it, quote, must do something. But there's been almost no discussion, as far as I can see, of what's going to be done for businesses. Now, if you consider that the cost of living crisis is on a par with the COVID pandemic, and you recall that the government paid out £45 billion in loans and grants during that pandemic to businesses to keep them afloat. They paid 80% of salaries and furlough payments and all the rest of the business loans and etc. You might ask, well, this is an equal crisis effectively, and what's going to be done now? The reason this is so important, I feel, is that whatever is done for British consumers, if something is actually done for each one of us finally when a new prime minister gets in, I mean, let's hope that Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak each have wonderful ideas for plans for how they can immediately alleviate the cost of living crisis, but they're not going to announce it now so that the other one can use it against them or use it themselves or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And the day, 5 minutes after they step into number 10, they then announce this wondrous new world we're all going to be brought into. Let's assume that that's the case. That still leaves nothing for business. They've said nothing about it. Nothing's been mentioned. Cutting VAT, yeah, that'll help a bit. A bit of this, a bit of that, national insurance, but it's all tinkering. It's all tinkering. And if businesses continue to suffer from cost of living prices, and if the Bank of England continues to raise interest rates relentlessly and make it more expensive for the businesses to operate, frankly, all the good that will be done, and let's hope it is, by a new prime minister for citizens will quickly be swept away. And all of the 45 billion that Mr. Sunak doled out will be blown away as well and have been for naught. So consequently, I'm eagerly awaiting to hear what the new Prime Minister says will be done for businesses as well as our citizens. I say, Nadeem Zahawi said they must do something, and I must say that was really very heartening, and I was almost able to sleep that evening. I hope I hear more where I can actually fall asleep. Thank you very much.